To dominate an arena, you need to understand that you have to go for kills. If you already know that, I'm going to show you some of my best strategies for getting as many kills as possible in arena. Now, getting kills rarely has to do with where you land. I know it helps, but you need to play a certain type of tempo. The higher the tempo you play, the more kills you get. But again, the higher the tempo you play, the higher the risk of dying is. So you need to understand that. I'm going to explain it all to you right now. And just so you know, the more fights you get into, the higher the risk of being third-partied. So let's hop into Fortnite.gg and I will explain everything in an overhead view. You guys need to be able to loot as fast as possible, clean up fights as fast as possible, and the better you can do those two things, the smoother that this playstyle will work. So let's talk about Holly Hatchery for a second, okay? This is one of the drop spots that this playstyle will work in, and it works best on playstyles around the edge of the map. I just want to show you an example of a way that we did this. I'm just going to circle a few POIs on the map right now, and I'm going to make it all easy to understand. But this is what we did in a game, and this just proves it's possible. We dropped 26 kills using this strategy. What we did was we landed Holly Hatchery, and we rotated up to Believer Beach. Believer Beach wasn't in zone, but we knew we had to take out Believer Beach, because if we went from Holly Hatchery straight to Boney Burbs, which is what most people would do, Believer Beach come in with their purple spazzes that they get off the beach when they buy them for 100 gold. And also there's a purple to gold scar you can buy here as well. So you want to be very careful of that. So we went there and we came out with purple scars and purple pumps because they already bought them for us, and we just killed them because you have to be relying on your skill and confidence to beat people even if they've got better weapons. So we smoked Believer Beach to the ground. We went to Boney Burbs, got a clean up from everyone who rotated out Pleasant. We went back up to Pleasant to get anybody who rotated in late to Pleasant Park, cleaned it up. Then we took a vehicle, went all the way over to Corny Complex and cleaned it up. Notice one thing about this. We did not touch anywhere near the center of the map. We just went from the hotspots and avoided everybody else, because the one thing you don't want to get caught up in is people who don't actually want to fight. When they don't want to fight and they're not confident, sure, they're easier to kill, but they play like bitches. So they're going to keep moving away from you, boxing up. The thing is, when someone lands Believer Beach, he's just an equally skilled player as yourself, because that's the way the arena works. You know, you're going to be matched with people your own skill level, so you don't need to worry about them being too cracked. If they are, they're just, you know, I don't know, they just don't play the game enough. They're just a creative warrior. But either way, you can VOD review it. If you die, see how you die, learn from it. But what I'm saying is they want to fight. So when people want to fight, they're very aggressive, especially if they're landing Believer Beach. They're super aggressive, and you can win off that because they're not going to be thinking clearly. And I did just make another video on that. If it's not out yet, trust me, you're going to want to see it. It will be on the channel, so make sure you go through the, you know, videos. It's a banging video talking about patience. It will be titled, "This is the real way to improve at Fortnite," okay? And it will make you the best player ever. It'll be titled something like that, trust me. But continuing on, let me just rub out everything on screen right now, okay? It's talking about the strategy. The best place for this to work is actually on the edge of the map. So I'm going to circle a few locations and I'll just break it down for you, give you a few examples so you can go and use it yourself. We have Stealthy Stronghold. We have Holly Hatchery, like I just said, so I won't show the Holly Hatchery example. I can't pronounce that drop spot. We got Misty Meadows. It works on Misty Meadows a bit. And then we got Slurpy Swamp, okay? So I'm just going to start off with a yellow, and we're going to do Stealthy Stronghold. Stealthy Stronghold actually has a jump pad, and I'll be linking a full POI breakdown playlist at the end of this video, which goes in depth. It's about a 20-minute video on every POI on the map. It's a full playlist. You can go and VOD review whatever drop spot you want, learn the best buildings to land, how to split it as a trio, a duo, or solo. I got you guys covered. So one thing to note is that there's an actual pad here. You can take this pad, it's unbreakable, and you can rotate down into Pleasant Park. From Pleasant Park, you can do one of two things. You can, first of all, you can, you know, clean up. So I'm just going to box it because it's a POI. Then you can go like this. You can go down to Boney, or you can split to Corny. And that all depends on zone and your playstyle. Boney is a much worse decision to go to, and I would only go there if you have low health, so you can get the shield barrels that are located right here. But then in Corny Complex, you can pick up a shit ton more kills because overall there's a lot more places for people to rotate in from. You've got Steamy, you've got Dirty, you've got this little, you know, radar station, you've got Craggy Cliffs. Especially if Corny's in zone, that's the place that they're all going to go to. The only problem with that is if you can't clean up the fights fast enough with this high tempo, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 teams on you at once, and that's not what you want. You want to end the fight start a fight, end the fight, start a fight. It's much better playing at that tempo. And if you see that there's another team coming, you either got to box up or you got to dip. And that's the only two ways to get out of it. And then come back later when them two are fighting. Because they don't really care who they're fighting, they just want kills. But you have to really play and use your brain. And that's what W Keen is all about. That's why it's so hard to do well, because it requires so much intelligence. And if people just flip it, it's like, oh, he's a W Keen psychopath. No, he's just a bad player. And he's griefing your game because he's pissed at life. But when you actually play intelligently and use your brain, you'll realize that W Keen is one of the hardest playstyles to master. Specifically because it takes so much, balls to actually, man up and just like, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to kill him. So you can see right now that what we've just done is we've landed Stealthy Stronghold. So anyone who contests us, we've already killed. We go into Pleasant Park. This is probably the third most contested drop spot in the map right now. Believer Beach is probably number 1. And then I would say Lazy Lake or Corny Complex would be a close second. And if not, then it would be a third, So I would say Believer Beach, Lazy Lake and Corny Complex would be the top 3 most contested in that order. So Pleasant Park is up there, okay? Just trust me. But you clean out these 2, then you either go Corny Complex, depending on zone, or Boney Burbs. The reason why as well I don't say go Boney Burbs is it comes back to the thing of these guys have spazzes and these are going to rotate in here. I've said this all in another video, so if you want to go see that, go watch my top 3 drop spot video that I just dropped as well. I know I'm self-promoting a lot about my videos, but it's very annoying for me to go over the same information again and again. Just trust me, all the information you need is on the channel. So, Believer Beach will rotate in with their spazzes, and if you're caught in Boney Burbs and you don't have the loot to compete with them, because you did land up here, now you will get a lot of good loot up here, but you won't get no purple spazzes unless you just get extremely lucky, either by fishing, because there's 18 fishing holes up here, or by the 3 supply crates that spawn up here, and they're guaranteed in the radar station that is up here. But Pleasant Park, you've no luck at getting a spaz. Corny Complex, you actually have a good chance of getting a spaz, but Believer Beach is guaranteed. If they're leaving there and you're playing Champs Division, they will have a spaz. It's how it's going to be, because players are much better. But you can see how many different options we have, and these are all big POIs. There's going to be kills here, so by playing at that high tempo, you can outplay the zone because you're moving so fast. I'm going to just completely wipe it up and just wipe it off the map, and we're going to talk about Misty Meadows very quickly and how to play the high tempo from Misty Meadows. This is not at all a drop spot video. This is more so me just explaining how to play this high tempo playstyle and really how important it is. So you can go from Misty Meadows, and when you look around, you have to play the right side because it's so sturdy of a drop spot. And this is the way I would you'll hear what I'm saying in a minute, but when you go from Misty, I recommend going to Lazy, because that's probably the next most contested drop spot because it's the biggest one. Get me? People don't really contest retail heavy the way they do Lazy Lake, Corny, Pleasant, Believer Beach. So you need to go from Misty, a nice secure drop spot. You'll come out there with anywhere from 3 to 9 kills in trios. So you can land here, do your business, go to Lazy Lake, and you'll pick up 1 to 2 teams here if you can clean up Misty fast enough. It's all about speed, but you don't want to be playing super aggressive, pushing people with pistols and ARs. You need to have the right fundamentals, which is a pump of any rarity, just a shotgun in general, then 300 mats, at least 150 health with some backup shield to have. Then from Misty, clean Lazy Lake, and what I actually recommend doing is one of 2 things, is going to retail. Let me actually just change the color of that and go over it with black. Go to retail, or actually you can do a double whammy here. This is actually super overpowered, I'm just after noticing it. You can go to retail, because by the time you clean Misty, clean Lazy, and clean retail, if retail is in zone, that's when you should play this. If it's not in zone, I would say just keep rotating up to Corny. But if it is in zone, people from Catty Corner are more than likely going to rotate to retail, and that's where you strike, because they're going to be going into retail and there's a team going to be going out of retail. So if you kill the team going out of retail, you're chilling. Then you kill the team from Caddy, and if there's no team from Caddy and my speculations and my guesses are wrong, you're vibing, because this is what you're going to do. And you can take as long as you want in this fight. This fight is a much more relaxed one, because right up here you have, I don't even know what to call it, the beacon, and it just flings you in the air and you can pull out your pad or your glider. Then what you do is you rotate like this over to here, which should be a doable thing. If not, you can land pretty close to it. And then from here, what you do is you take the pad and go on to Corny. And trust me, this is all doable in the game. You could probably even do it if zone was like this. If zone was something like this, where this is all in zone and this is out of zone, you can still do exactly what I'm saying. And again, most people, the thing is, this is where you win, okay? When zone pulls like this, I'm going to show you an example. I'm not going to go in depth on any more of the locations. I just really want to show you this, and it's going to take a minute, but you'll learn a lot from it. When you land here, okay, and let's say everybody that you don't kill on this loot route, let me look at all the other POIs, okay, and that's why I'm using blue right now. Weeping Woods is going to rotate into zone. Slurpy Swamp is going to rotate into zone. Steamy Stacks is going to rotate into zone. I'm just doing white lines. These are just clear white lines of the way you would do it. Craggy Cliffs is going to go into zone. Dirty Docks is going to go into zone. You're going to have anyone that got out lazy early into zone. Same with retail if they got out early into zone. Caddy Corner, maybe they go into zone. You get me? You don't know this. That's why I'm just speculating with this drop spot. Then, on top of that, you're going to have people landing down here because they always do. And maybe a trio lands here because it's a great drop spot. So now when you're looking at something like this, look at the way everybody's attention is focused. It's focused like this. That's probably not the best color to do, but their focus is like that, this arrow. They're all going towards zone. So look at your strategy. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all of these blue lines to make it clear for you. Just remember that everybody's focused on getting to zone. When you look at that, you're playing away from zone. So people are coming at you while you're going into them. And because you're so confident in hitting this, like the thing is, these are both guaranteed. Like that's always going to be here and that is always going to be here. So you can abuse them and use them to your advantage. And even if you got to skip corny, skip it, land in there, take a car, and then even more overpowered, rotate up like this, okay? Rotate into Pleasant. And obviously this is just speculation with zone. If you can do all this, this should take you till second zone to do this whole loot route. Maybe third zone if you're just getting it down. But it's not even a loot route. This is a kill path. That's what I'm going to title this shit, bro. Look up kill paths. That's what I'm going to be doing now, bro. No more loot routes. This is a kill path. This is ways to pick up as many kills as possible for all the W keying players out there. And this is the way anybody who doesn't W key yet needs to play, because it's going to just eventually take over because there's so many good players. You're not going to last and do well playing for placement because it's so easy to read a player like, oh, he's relaxing. No. We don't want you to relax, so let's be aggressive on you. And that's what a lot of players like fail to understand, is that me as going towards from a placement player to someone who W keys a lot now, I can tell when a team is scared. You get me? And we can, as a team, if I feel a vibe of the other team being scared, like they won't edit on me when they have a clear edit. They won't snipe me when they have a clear snipe. They just don't play the same. You can feel that vibe. And you can tell your other teammates that, look, this team isn't good. And that's how, you know, a lot of streamers, maybe not streamers, but if you watch my streams, for example, I'm not the best player in the world. But out of nowhere, I won't have even hit someone. I will just scream, these are shit players. And my whole team fully understands what I mean by that. It's just that they might be good mechanically, but they're scared. And that's the real weakness, is when people aren't confident. You could be fighting Faye Sway, but you ever notice the way he's so cocky? Same with Clicks, bro. They're so cocky. And that's what actually helps them. It might be a bit of a too big ego, but that's not for me to say. What I'm saying is it helps them. It's better to be like that than scared of a fight. And they've gotten like that from game after game after failure to eventually winning. So hopefully that's some motivative stuff for you. So I just wanted to point that out. Look at this loot route you've got right now. You're playing away from zone. You're playing this way while the rest of the lobby is playing this way. And that's why you win. Because you go around everybody. So not only is this a great rotation for picking up an insane amount of kills, but even more insane for actually rotating, because you can come out Pleasant and anywhere up in this top half of the map like that is dead side. So you're now in dead side for a nice relaxed endgame. You've picked up as many kills, you've got stacked mats, stacked loot. You can just play a relaxed endgame. Chill out, bro. Enjoy tarping. You get me? Let everybody else kill each other while you have 20 kills chilling in an endgame, and then just take the W. It's really that easy. I don't mean to be making it sound simple, it's that easy. With that said, if you want to go and watch this playlist down below, because it will definitely help you out. It's full analysis on every drop spot on the map right now. So if you want to go watch that, trust me, it will help you out. It's a playlist, find your drop spot, and it's a 20-minute breakdown on every drop spot. Enjoy.